kill switch is down.
Yep.
Disengage. Okay.
And then the next step to starting this bike is your foot is on the brake, just like in a car. You don't want to start the car or a bike without your foot being on the brake.
Okay.
And then you do a half a second push on the starter. So go ahead and start the bike. So the bike starts up in neutral. That's the safety mechanism. So it's indicated by here, neutral is green. All right. So this is your fuel gauge. Come back with a full tank. Fill up with premium, and you stick to the big brands like 76, Chevron, or Shell. Do not go to Arco. Do not go to Valero. Sir. Okay. This is your oil temperature gauge. You need to make sure that it registers at least 1 bar before you get on it hard, before you rev the engine. All right. So 1 bar at least. If this side is looking like, if the coolant oil is looking like the oil side, you got a problem. That means the bike's overheating, but you should call me. Okay. But this normally runs hot, and it's probably going to be 3 to 4 bars from the top. Okay. All right. So the next step is I'm going to show you the instrumentation panel. Okay. So this is your emergency flashes. You just slide into here, and your emergency flashes are in the front, up here, okay, and in the back. So when you pull over, make sure you throw these on the freeway or wherever you're stopped, where there's busy traffic. Okay. Turn it off, slide it to the right. Over here is the high beam light. I have it already set normally to high beam, and it's indicated here in the blue. Okay. That way people can see you. Here's your turn signal. This is the left turn signal, and it is indicated by the light over here. Okay. So it doesn't cancel out for you like a car, so you're gonna have to actually press the middle button to cancel. All right. To turn right, same thing. Press that button to the right. Cancel. Press in the middle. This is your horn. All right. And then right here is your shifter. So this is a plus sign. So right now we're in neutral. If I put it in plus, that kick right there puts you in first. If I gave it gas, which is over here, your throttle, then you're going to be moving. So to shift up, second, third, fourth, or fifth gear, you need to be at least at 3,000 RPM. And then you have an RPM gauge here and over here. 3,000 is the minimum shifting point, okay? 3,000. Yep. If you go below 3,000 and you try to shift, it's not going to let you. All right? To downshift, here's the back paddle. The furthest we can go right now is neutral, but I mean, if you were in 5th gear or 4th gear, this would shift you down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. You don't have to shift down, but it's always good to, because with downshifting with the engine and your brake is the ideal braking power. So you want to downshift and brake at the same time. That's like the best stopping power. Alright? But it's not going to penalize you if you forget. Alright? So I'm going to show you reverse. So when we're moving, we're in first gear, right?
Right.
And then we come to a stop. Now we want to put the bike in neutral, okay? So once it's in neutral, we want to take your other hand on the throttle, push it on the R button, okay?
While the foot is still on the brake.
While the foot is still on the brake, R button and a back paddle. So R, back paddle. Now the bike kicked that way. Now the bike is in reverse. It is indicated by the R here, and there's an R light up here. Alright? If you gave it throttle, we'd be going backwards. To get out, what you do is you press the plus button. That puts you to neutral. And then you press it again. Now you're in first. Alright? So that's pretty much how you start the bike. You get the bike in gear, you upshift, downshift, we covered those, and we covered reverse.
So we know it's not in reverse because there's no indicator lights, and this is not depressed. Once
Right.
that's depressed, we're going to reverse.
Right, well, we'll do it again. Neutral first, right? And then R button. R, hold that down, back paddle. Then you let go. Then you reverse. To get out, neutral, reverse. Okay? Alright, so how do you shut off the bike? We put it in neutral, and then we turn the key to the off position. So that beeping noise means that you need to put the parking brake down. So that's the parking brake plate. So why didn't you press that down? Yep. So now the bike is in a standstill position. Alright?
Okay.
Alright, so the next step we're going to continue with the tutorial. So remember I told you to turn, now we're going to push. So when you push, you either get to the gas tank or you get to the trunk. So let's get to the trunk since you're sitting on the gas tank. You push in and you turn to the picture that says trunk.
Got it.
And then after that, you pull up on the hood of this trunk. So, and it just goes up, okay?
Okay.
You can put one helmet up there, no more than 35 pounds, okay? Don't overload it, because there is a hinge, and that hinge will break if you overload this trunk.
I think my backpack will fit in there. That's good.
Yep. So you'll be good. I have my insurance card here, okay?
Okay.
And then I also have the registration, which I'm going to give you in a minute.
Okay.
Right? And then here's another thing. We have flyers. So every flyer that you pass out, you get 20% off your rental, your existing rental,
okay,
if they redeem while they're calling. So
okay.
Pass these out for me. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to get the gas. So you actually have to step off of it. So I'm going to push in and then I'm going to turn to the gas gauge and the seat goes up, okay? So the tank is right here. Make sure you put premium, Shell, Chevron, or 76. Don't go to Arco, don't go to Valero, alright? So once you're done filling it up, make sure that when you take the nozzle out, it doesn't spill on this because it will eat away at the paint. So angle it, put it back in the carrier, and then when you're done, just lock the seat. Alright? Seat's locked. Alright, so the mirrors, these are adjustable, so find your right sweet spot. Another advice that I have for you is when you're riding, you're going to look in your mirror, and then before you turn, whichever way you're going to go, you're going to turn your head, you're going to look. In addition to looking at that mirror, you're going to look over, just because you don't know who's here on your blind spot. You're on a motorcycle now, motorcycle/car kind of vehicle.
Right.
So you're not protected by any kind of metal. So make sure you take your time and look. Also, when you're stopped at a light, you're the first bike up in the line or first vehicle. You want to make sure you give yourself an extra half a second before you even move past that light or past that stop sign, because you want to make sure everyone is noticing where you are and they're not busy texting or they're not busy on their phone. So give that extra half a second. They'll probably save you in the future, whether you're driving a car or a motorcycle.
Right.
All right. If you have a passenger, do you have a passenger today? Okay.
No.
So, but just for FYI, these are passenger foot vests. Okay. Now we have one brake pedal. Okay.
Right.
This one brake pedal engages all four wheels. All right. So when we step on this brake pedal, it's going to brake every single wheel, and it also knows which wheel needs more braking power than the other. So the correct stance to have my foot on this brake is to always have your your foot on the side. Okay. When you want to use the brake, then what you want to do is press the pedal. So foot on the side until you need to use the brake. Boom. All right. Because you don't want your foot hovering here, because just a little depression of this brake pedal will engage the wheels. So then you're going to wear out the brakes. Alright? You don't want to have to charge you for new brake pads. Alright, so the next step is to go over any kind of damages on this bike. There's some rubber that was melted on. That's not your fault. As far as damages go, this rim, so there's a scratch right there. So someone did that, a renter. Also, if you notice in the front, it's pretty low, especially in a driveway like this. You want to go sideways. So if you go sideways, that gives it more leverage for the bike to be lifted. So just be careful, because there's some tiny scratches here from people that did it. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Because they weren't, especially with two people, it's heavier, so the bike gets lowered. So other than that, the bike is pretty much all in one piece. No scratches on the other pieces. I took the tire measurements. No burnouts. You definitely don't want to be holding the brake while you're trying to get the wheels spinning, because that causes brake pad wear, and it also eats up the brake fluid. So we just got that tire replaced just recently.
Okay.
All right, you're pretty much good to go. So we'll put on your helmet, and then we'll do your training next.
Okay.